ask me where I lived when I was a little kid, if you ask me, I might tell you that I lived at 2704 Blue Spruce Drive in Grants, New Mexico. And that would be right. But I also might tell you that I lived at the neighborhood swimming pool. And that would also be right, because I did. Home is where you are comfortable and surrounded by the people that love you, and that worked for both places. When I was about 9 years old, in the summertime, I would wake up, but I didn't get dressed. I would put on my swimming suit, eat a little something, and walk down the street to the neighborhood swimming pool. I lived outside of Grants, New Mexico, in a not fully developed neighborhood. So one side of the street was lined with beautiful homes, but the other side of the street was sagebrush all the way until the mountains when you hit Mount Taylor. That's where the rattlesnakes and the groundhogs lived. When I got to the swimming pool, it would be time for swim team practice. If you lined up the swim team, I would be the really scrawny one. And even though I didn't look like much, when I got in the water, oh, I felt like I could swim so fast. I loved the feeling of the water brushing past my face. I would do the backstroke and freestyle. My favorite was the breaststroke. And our coach, Wesley, he would call out to us, "Way to go, guys, you're looking good. Keep it up, Holly, bend your elbows." And I would, and then I would go faster because I kind of had a crush on Wesley. When swim team practice was over, I didn't go home because that is when my mom would arrive with my little brother and my little sister and all the stuff that we needed to enjoy a day at the pool. So I had this big, beautiful, crystal blue pool with my friends to enjoy and make believe all day long. Sometimes I would cross my legs like this and I would swim through the water like I was a mermaid, and I would imagine my hair flowing out behind me, and I knew I was just so beautiful. I would follow my fellow mermaid friends around until the arch enemy of mermaids came, my big brother, or my little brother, the shark. Then that game would be over. Now, you know that pools, they have those black lines and they tell you that they're to divide the pool into lanes. Well, actually, those are tight ropes. And I would then spend time being the most amazing tightrope acrobat, doing flips and turns up and down that black line. And I would come up out of the water. Yes, you may applaud me. And I could hear the applause. Sometimes my mom would ask me to go entertain my little sister in the kiddie pool. How are you supposed to have fun in a kiddie pool? Well, sometimes it was a little fun when I would blow bubbles and pop my face up out of the water and she would laugh. Mom would also try to get me out of the pool to eat lunch. Fat chance. I wasn't gonna get out for lunch until my stomach was growling. There was something that happened every summer. We never knew when it was going to happen, we just knew that it would happen. One day we would be playing along, someone would look up into the sky and say, "Look at that black cloud." And we would all look. And we would see that it was rolling towards us. But we didn't get out of the pool. As we watched that black cloud, we noticed that it wasn't really raining underneath that black cloud, and there wasn't thunder or lightning. And as it got closer, we would hear the buzzing sound. And we knew they were coming. And still, we did not get out of the pool because we wanted every last second of splashing fun. And those flying red ants were upon us before we got out of the pool. They turned my pool black, and as I climbed up out of the water, I had to scrape my legs to get those flying creatures off of them. I climbed out and I turned around to look at that mass of flying black goo, and it was time to go home, because this home had definitely been invaded. My mother gathered all of us up and took us the short journey back to our house. And we got inside and started unloading. My mom walked into the living room. Ah! She screamed because the ants were inside of our house. They had come down the chimney, and once they got into the living room, they realized they did not want to be there. So they beelined it for the sliding glass door, of course realizing that they couldn't go anywhere, but they left a black soot trail along the carpet. My mom went straight to the phone because she was not going to go into that room. She called my dad. "Wendell, you have to come home right now." And of course he did, because he did whatever she asked. My dad got home and he got out the central vacuum system and started sucking up all of those flying creatures and all of their soot trail, so that when I went to bed that night, I didn't have creepy crawly things all over me. I didn't have nightmares, because I knew that my dad was there and that he was my hero. He made my home safe. When I got up the next morning and headed to the pool just like every other morning, I arrived to find my beautiful crystal blue pool just like it always was. Just a few little remnants on the sidewalk. But Wesley, who was coach and lifeguard and pool caregiver, he had spent the entire afternoon skimming those ants off of the pool, so that when I arrived, I had my beautiful home back. I think that's when I kind of got the idea that that's what living in a neighborhood, that's what living together really was. It was being comfortable and being around the people that you love, but it was being safe and helping the people around you feel safe. Imagine what the world would be like if everyone had a home.